Ali, you answer this. Who's the fastest man alive? Who's the fastest sprinter?
Usain Bolt, presumably.
Who's the second fastest?
Not the longest.
Nobody knows. A poor guy. And when you imagine their race, the second fastest guy, he was slower, right? He seems like he was like, oh yeah, he's much slower. If you can visualize that race right now, Usain Bolt's just ripped over the ribbon. He's ran over it. The second fastest guy was genuinely less than a feet behind him. Nobody will remember him. Nobody knows his name. Usain Bolt, that moment, got easily 1,000 times more reward than the second guy. Second guy was only 0.01 seconds slower. Second guy had 2 bites of birthday cake 3 months ago, and that's why he lost that race. I find that insane. So if there's a competitive endeavor, especially when it comes to money or fame, and those are the things you want, going all in for your acceleration period, in my opinion, is very required.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. I think one of the... Again, there's a lot of stuff around in terms of the self-help world around consistency. And I think James Clear popularized a lot of this with Atomic Habits. Just do the small things a little bit every single day and you'll eventually get these big compounded results. It's yes, that is true, but also periods of intensity are also very, very useful. And particularly at the start of a journey, having periods of intensity is ridiculously helpful. There's also a bit of a again, with a lot of this productivity, personal development type stuff, the same advice is actually can be very useful for one person, but very counterproductive for someone else, depending on what stage of the process they're at. So, for example, there's the whole diminishing returns thing. It's at some point, the returns for your work stop being there, and you stop being as productive, blah blah blah. Therefore, you should take breaks. Therefore, you should be balanced, etc., etc. And yes, that is true. However, in some fields, there are actually compounding gains to working lots and lots. For example, publishing 1 video a week on YouTube might take you, 20 hours if you're doing all the editing yourself and whole shebang. But publishing 2 videos a week might take you 30 hours or 40 hours. But the difference between the guy who's making 2 videos a week and the guy who's making 1 video a week is astronomical, because the guy who's making 2 videos a week has twice as many chances of any one of those getting lucky and hitting with the algorithm and hitting with the audience and stuff. And so, yes, and so it's sort of it goes up, diminishes, but then if you hit a certain threshold, it actually compounds and you get a second wind of value from doing the thing. So that's how I approached YouTube. I was like, okay, I'm going to make at least 1 video a week, but I was thinking about YouTube when I was in the shower, when I was commuting to work, when I was at work, when I was in the toilets at work, when I was in between seeing patients. I was on Notion on my crappy NHS Windows computers, and I was planning the next video. When I was on my night shift, I was planning my videos, because I was obsessing about YouTube, because that was the thing, because I knew that was my ticket to financial freedom, to being able to have the option of quitting the day job. I didn't intend to quit the day job, but I wanted to have the option. And then once I got the option, I was like, great, this entrepreneurship thing is way more fun than working full-time as a doctor. But I think it's important to appreciate when is consistency useful and when is intensity useful. When do you actually get diminishing returns to more work, but when do you actually get compounding returns to more work? And there's no easy answer here, because it's massively context dependent and depends a lot on your circumstances. But I think, to your point, particularly towards the start of a journey, going for intensity can be really helpful in getting you up to speed.